Did you know that Jeepers Creepers 2001 was based off of some real-life events that happened in the summer of 1990? I didn't realize it until after watching the film, doing some digging, that this is true. And for the majority of this video, I'm not going to be talking about the real-life events. I'm going to be going over the film, telling you whether you should see it or not, because it definitely has aged. But there's no good horror movies coming out this year, so I think we need to go back to the past and watch some of the classics. This is my first time through watching Jeepers Creepers, and I'll have to say this, it was meh. It was okay, it was weird, it was interesting, but it was fun. I'll definitely say that. It was a fun movie, and although I didn't really like it, and the characters of this film truly represented the most stereotypical horror movie tropes of any dumb horror movie character. I mean, they made so many horrible decisions in this, and I've never really seen it so clearly represented in a scary movie other than this film. I mean, it was worse than like what the people would do in like the Scream movies. And I couldn't tell if they were doing that as like a joke in this film or if this was sort of setting that sort of precedent. But regardless, this film is a fun movie, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. So before I do though, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell so you don't miss the next episode. I would greatly appreciate it. The film begins with an iconic scene that plays as a frequent callback to the film saga. Siblings Derry and Trish drive home for spring break when they are met with a terrifying erratic driver speeding behind them. The dysmorphic rusted truck bats against the siblings' rear and eventually speeds past them. Left on edge after the encounter, the siblings are shocked to see the truck again parked outside an abandoned church several miles down the road. As they drove past, they witnessed the grotesque driver dump a wrapped corpse into a large pipe behind the church. Following yet again another horrifying encounter with the truck, he is back again on a pursuit, bolting ever more aggressively towards the two until they vault off the road. Debating the best case scenario for engagement, the two decide to drive back to the church to attempt to save the dumped person's life by any possibility. Through this, Derry accidentally plummets into the pipe where the body was dropped and discovers a disgusting collection of sewn corpses wrapping the space. After his eventual escape, the two embark upon a hesitant retreat, driven with horror as they attempt to shine awareness upon this travesty. And surprisingly enough, this pulls from a true story of a man named Dennis Depew. He kills his wife and he disposes of her outside of an abandoned schoolhouse in Michigan in the summer of 1990. Two passerbys, Ray and Marie Thornton, both witnessed this event and were chased by Dennis on the road aggressively. So we see that correlation in the film, of course, and that's one of the biggest scenes in the movie. And that's one of the most memorizable scenes for me, and I really enjoyed that one. But I have to say this movie definitely suffers from really dumb, annoying, brutish characters, especially Trish. The brother and sister dynamic, I think it's realistic. I don't think brothers and sisters regularly get along very well, but the whole movie, they're just berating each other, they're insulting each other, and they don't get along. And you just see that all the way through. And it's particularly stressful watching Trish not being very helpful, and really dragging down the goodwill that Derry has in this movie. But they both make really dumb mistakes that we see in horror movies time and time again. I actually think these are two of the dumbest characters I've ever seen in horror movies. But Justin Long's character, Derry, he does go through a significant character shift where he goes through a complete and utter mental breakdown, and it felt genuine and real. And it was interesting. And that was a big highlight of the movie, and seeing his character change. And this actually sort of makes him a better man, a bigger man, and he accepts his responsibility, and he's more focused on what he really needs to do in the situation. And with all that being said, even though I have a couple highlights like I just mentioned with Justin Long's character, I give it a 4.5 out of 10. It's just basic. We've seen this 1,000 times, but you know, you could still enjoy the movie because it's kooky. It's kind of a fun, scary movie, but it's also pretty gross. It's a little gory. There's a lot of nude bodies, like dead bodies, so you got to be wary of that. But nevertheless, if you like this film, if you have other thoughts, if you really like the sequels, if you think I should watch the next few movies, let me know in the comments below. And I'd appreciate it if you left a thumbs up, subscribed, hit the notifications bell so you don't miss the next episode. That would be great. I've really been enjoying making these movie reviews, and I'm looking forward to watching more movies and making more reviews in the future. And with all that being said, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you next time.